Now we're going to hear from Bill Nazar, and he's with Non-Christian Resource Center.
Thanks, Barb. So I'm going to speak about our housing project at 40 Oak Street in Regent Park. So the Toronto Christian Resource Center, or CRC, has been in existence since about 1964. We've been in Regent Park at our own site, our church-owned site, since about 1980. In the face of TCHC looking at the possibility of the redevelopment of Regent Park, and then when the plans were going through, we were talking at CRC about what we could do in the face of, or what we could or should do in the face of the redevelopment. And we made a choice to stay in Regent Park as an organization, and also to respond to what was happening in Regent Park. And the plans, as you know, for Regent Park were to redevelop 69 acres of solely public housing into mixed housing. And we wanted, in the face of that, where TCHC would only be replacing what they were tearing down, which they had to do by law anyway, that we felt it was a shame that this opportunity to add, there was no adding of new affordable housing. And we felt that was a shame, of prime opportunity for this, but they were operating on a business model, and they couldn't, and there was no money to build additional affordable social housing or affordable housing. So we decided, and we're not a very big organization. So in about 2004, we started to talk about how we could respond. So CRC is a small organization. At that time, we were. Our annual budget was something like $500,000 or $600,000. We were in annual deficits of about $50,000. We decided, we talked and decided and dreamt about adding new housing, adding additional affordable housing. So that was a bit crazy on our parts, and we embraced it. And so we started to talk about amongst ourselves and with people that we knew and people who knew the housing environment and how this could happen. And so we were talking amongst ourselves and starting to bring other people in. And as we were doing that, we were called by people at St. James Bond United Church, and they said, we hear that you are talking about building housing. We would like to help you with that. And so they were in the process of building amalgamating with another church, and they were selling their building. And so they called us and said we would like to join you. And the way that they joined us was by saying, we will give you $1.5 million to start your project, and that's without even asking anyone yet for money. So and I'm saying this just to set some context for you, because I will be talking about the Affordable Housing Office. So we were talking about this in 2004. As you know, there was effectively no affordable housing being built in, certainly in Toronto, if not in the province, for about 10 years around that time. So we were fortunate to start dreaming at about the time when there was new money being made available by various levels of government. So we were dreaming at the right time. So we started, as I said, in 2004 to talk. Our proposal, we sent in our proposal, and I was looking at our original proposal, and it was submitted in 2006, and our plans were to tear our building down in February of 2008 and move in I think May of 2009. We haven't moved in yet. Our hopes are to take occupancy in actually a month from yesterday is our hope. So as I said, we were dreamers and advocates for housing. And there were some people volunteers of ours who were experts in the field, but certainly no paid staff who were. So we really did rely on volunteers. But also we relied on city staff to help not just to hold our hands, but to help us to navigate the system. When our proposal was we thought, and with the available expertise, we thought our building would cost, to build 87 units of housing, of affordable housing, that it would cost about $13 million. So that was our budget. I can tell you now that our budget is $22 million to build this building. So from 2006 to now, it just it was unrealistic. Although at the time, that's what we thought. That's what everyone was telling us, and our proposal was accepted. But it was clear that what the government money that was made available to us was inadequate. What is true is that the affordable housing office has been walking along with us. Is always at we have a staff member who's always at our meetings. Helps us not just be a gatekeeper in terms of of things needed or through bureaucracy or various city departments, but they really are sort of advocates for us, for our project. These are bureaucrats who are activists and advocates for housing, and it's really important for I think us to hear that, because these are bureaucrats with city staff who are advocates for social, affordable housing. And I can tell you that, in fact, a month ago, we were at a regular meeting meetings that are happening more often now because we're close, and we hope we're close, and so more details, more things are in the air, and I can tell you that when an issue came up in this meeting, and it was potentially really harmful for our project and perhaps other projects, the bluest language came from the city staff, who was so upset that this could put our project at risk in terms of funding or in terms of affordability, and put other projects at risk. These are people who are passionate for social housing. It's just, and when you use the term bureaucrat, one thinks of a sort of faceless, passionless person, but in fact, the people who we have worked with the affordable housing office and I always forget the social housing and the shelter housing administration. These are people who are passionate advocates for social housing, helping us to as I said, not just be gatekeepers for us to walk through various doors, but to facilitate our housing being built. One example is that, as I said, our original approved budget, our project was approved with this $13 million budget, on the understanding that we could build housing, we could build 87 units of housing at $70,000 per unit. It was quickly, and that was the understanding, and that's how that was accepted as the amount that it would cost. Projects now that are being approved, the budgets that are being approved, the accepted cost now is $120,000 per unit to build housing. So we started with a budget of $70,000, and so the Affordable Housing Office helped us to find monies to build our housing. Admittedly, we're building housing that's not all paid for. We will have a healthy mortgage, but they helped us to navigate, and they also quickly realized, and they weren't holding us to anything. They wanted as much as us to build this housing. So in the context of this, context and environment of scarce resources, they've helped us to make, they certainly make judgment calls on projects. They're people who know the lay of the land and housing, and both in general, but locally as well. If we didn't have an Affordable Housing Office in Toronto, there wouldn't be anyone to help us walk through in this local environment, how to walk through how to build the housing. So how can we not have something like the Affordable Housing Office? It's not just that agencies or some nonprofits want to build it, but they need the expertise. And for us, these are people who are experts in the field, who are passionate advocates. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to say, but I can tell you that for us, and I know that when I speak of our project is not unique. There are many agencies who have done the same thing as us, and who have needed and relied on and needed the expertise and the passion of the Affordable Housing Office to build their housing, or to have built their housing, or to build their housing.